A lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep. It only wakes up when it's time to hunt. You were never in the crowd to blend in. You were the storm they whispered about, the fire they tried to smother, but only made bigger. They prayed you would fall, but all they did was teach the universe your name. And now, it's carved into the walls of fear, inside their minds. You didn't just gain a reputation. You became the shadow that follows them in their dreams. You are the weight pressing down on their chest when they hear your name spoken. Even in their loudest moments, there's silence when your name is mentioned. And in that silence, there's respect and fear. Before we go deeper, make sure you like and subscribe. Not just for you, but for the other chosen ones still waking up to their power. When you do, it sends a signal to the universe and to YouTube that this message needs to reach every soul who's been hunted, doubted, and tested. Now, let's get real. The power of being chosen is not something you earn. It's not something you chase. It's something you are. And the ones who tried to break you, they weren't just fighting a person. They were standing against the raw force of the universe itself. And losing was written in stone the second they tried. Your presence alone makes people rethink everything they believe about strength, about destiny, about what's really possible in this world. You don't even have to say a word. You just walk into a room and something shifts. It's like a cold wind blowing through a house full of candles. Some lights go out immediately, exposing who was never meant to last in your atmosphere. Understand this. Your reputation is not made by gossip or luck. It's forged through survival. Every battle they thought would finish you only added another layer to your legend. They see you now, standing taller, moving smarter, speaking less. And they don't know whether to admire you or to fear what you'll do next. And here's the truth they choke on. You were never one of them. You were always the lightning bolt in a sky full of paper planes. They can't figure you out because you don't fit into the small boxes they live in. You burn too hot. You dream too big. You move too fast for their slow minds to keep up. You are a living reminder that greatness can't be explained, only witnessed. And witnessing you cost them their peace. Some of them still pretend they don't know your name. They smile and fake conversations, but deep down, they hear it like thunder behind every polite laugh. Your name has become a spell they fear to speak, because speaking it means inviting your energy into their reality again. And they're not built for that war. You became their unfinished business. You became the warning written in every regret they carry. You became the story they tell each other when they think you're not listening, about the one who couldn't be beaten, couldn't be boxed in, and couldn't be broken. And you, the one who doubted your own light, you thought you were alone. You thought the silence around you meant you were forgotten? No. The universe was making room, clearing noise, building fear in the hearts of the ones who needed to know exactly who they were dealing with. You're not alone. You're not forgotten. You are the chosen, and your reputation is only the beginning of the story. So tell me, are you ready to step fully into the power that already has them whispering your name behind closed doors? If you're serious about owning the fear you've planted in their hearts, drop the number 77 in the comments right now. That's the number of finality, the number that says you're not backing down. Stay locked in, because what's coming next isn't for the faint of heart. And if you truly are who the universe says you are, you won't just watch. You'll feel the fire to stay until the very last word. Let's unleash it. Number 1. When you play with fire, expect to get burned. The universe doesn't miss. They thought they were throwing stones at you, but they were standing in the middle of a lightning storm, begging to be struck. The pattern couldn't be clearer. It's written all over their broken lives and empty smiles. The ones who dared to put your name in their mouth, who schemed in the dark thinking no one would see, they are now living proof that the universe doesn't blink when it comes to you. You didn't have to lift a finger. You didn't have to lower yourself to their level. The universe made sure they paid the price in ways they never saw coming. And they still wonder what happened. They sit there blaming bad luck, blaming timing, blaming everything but the truth staring them in the face. They messed with a chosen one. They picked a fight with forces older, greater, and more ruthless than they could ever understand. They didn't just attack you, they tried to cheat the system, spit in the face of the very universe that anointed you. And the universe, it doesn't forget, it doesn't forgive. It delivers karma straight and fast, like a hammer falling from the sky. You, chosen one, need to see this pattern for what it is. Stop questioning your worth. Stop asking why you feel so protected, so watched over. It's because you are. You were never walking alone. You were walking with a cosmic army at your back, silent but deadly. Every betrayal, every smear against your name, every fake smile that tried to hide a knife in your back, it triggered an instant response from the system itself. You think you lost something? No, you were being cleared. Cleared of parasites, cleared of liars, cleared of dead weight not strong enough to walk beside a giant. Remember the ones who mocked your growth. Look at their lives now, scrambling for stability, losing everything they once used to laugh at you. Remember the ones who tried to sabotage you when you were finally finding your light. Where are they now? Drowning in shadows, with no lifeline in sight. Every time someone tried to dim your light, they didn't realize they were signing their own downfall. It's not just coincidence. It's not just bad luck on their part. It's instant karma, tailored to fit the crime. The universe doesn't play favorites. It honors contracts, and yours was written long before you even knew you had power. You're not being lucky. You're being protected by design. And yet, some of you dare to doubt. Some of you sit at night thinking maybe you're still alone, maybe no one's watching, maybe your struggles are punishment instead of preparation. How dare you? The storms you survived should have destroyed you, and here you are, breathing, standing taller, moving smarter, scaring the ones who once laughed at you. You carry the kind of light that forces snakes to shed their skins just by being near you. Stop doubting your place in this war. You were chosen because the system knew you could handle the weight. You were built different because you were meant to lead different. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be undeniable. Think about it. How many times have you been knocked down just to rise back up stronger? How many people have you buried by simply outliving their attacks? You are the walking proof that the universe picks its warriors carefully, and it moves mountains to keep them standing. The ones who tried to curse you are choking on the seeds they planted. The lies they told about you became cages they now live in. Every plot, every rumor, every hidden agenda thrown your way became the very chain dragging them down. You didn't have to lift a sword. You were the sword. You were never meant to fight back in the old ways. Your silence is your roar. Your patience is your blade. Your existence is a storm they can't predict or survive. They thought they were clever, playing with fire, laughing while striking matches. But now they're running from the wildfire they started. This isn't just about karma. This is about the universe making it clear you are not someone to be crossed. You are not someone to be toyed with. You are not just protected, you are prioritized. The sooner you realize your light comes with a force field they can't penetrate, the faster you'll move like the giant you already are. Stop shrinking. Stop questioning. Stop feeling bad for being powerful. You didn't break the world. You just reminded it who's really in charge. And trust me, they know it now. Number 2. They tried to bury you, but you became the earthquake. They plotted your downfall like amateurs, but you were the storm they couldn't survive and the lesson they couldn't unlearn. Every shot they fired at you became another nail in their own coffin. Every lie they told was just another torch lighting the path you were meant to walk anyway. They thought they were digging your grave, but they were really planting the seeds of their own destruction. You didn't just survive, you rose higher. You didn't just heal, you became the weapon they can't outrun. Look around you. You've built something that can't be touched by petty words, weak hands, or scared hearts. You became a legend in real time, and you didn't have to announce it. Your enemies did it for you. They told stories behind closed doors. They whispered warnings like old ghost tales. Don't cross them. Don't bring their name up. You don't want that kind of smoke. Without even trying, your reputation became myth. A living, breathing myth. The kind that makes people check themselves twice before even thinking of moving against you. You're no longer just a name. You are a consequence. You became the walking reminder that there are some forces on this earth you simply do not provoke if you value your peace. And believe this, they know, oh they know. Even if they don't say it out loud, their fear speaks volumes. Their sudden silence when your name is mentioned, the way they fumble their words, the way their energy shifts, all of it screams the truth. They fought the wrong one. They gambled with their lives and came up broke. Understand something deep. You didn't become untouchable because you were protected by luck. You became untouchable because every hit you took was absorbed, alchemized, and turned into armor thicker than anything they could ever pierce. They were swinging at a ghost while you were evolving into a titan. Each betrayal hardened your resolve. Each setback strengthened your focus. Each attack sharpened your instincts. You were built to survive battles they couldn't even imagine surviving once. And yet, you doubted. At times, you questioned your own power. You wondered why people feared you, why they pulled away, why the attacks came harder when you started rising. You thought maybe something was wrong with you. Let me make it clear. Nothing is wrong with you. Everything is wrong with them. They couldn't handle your reflection. They couldn't stand to see in you what they were too weak to become. You showed them their smallness without even trying. You exposed their fear, their limits, their lies, just by existing. They saw a light in you that their demons couldn't sit comfortably around. You didn't have to throw a punch. Your very survival, after everything they did, was a punch they never recovered from. Your resilience was the real war they lost. The universe made sure of it. You think it was a coincidence that everything they touched started to crumble after they touched you. You think it was random that the ones who smiled in your face but cursed your name behind your back started losing everything they loved. Wake up. You are not moving through this world unprotected. You are moving through it marked by the system itself. Chosen, appointed, shielded. The universe isn't casual when it comes to you. It sends signs. It sends storms. It sends silence so deafening that your enemies can hear their own guilt scream louder than anything you could ever say. The ones who dared to come for you, they are now case studies in what happens when you play chess against the universe without knowing the rules. And the deeper truth is this: you were never here to just exist. You were sent to disrupt, to unsettle, to dismantle everything false around you. Your existence itself is an act of war against small minds, fake alliances, and dead systems. You are a storm in human form, and storms don't apologize for wrecking what needed to fall. The ones who challenged you thought they were dealing with another easy target. They thought they were moving against a person, but they weren't. They were moving against universal order. They were fighting a hand-picked, battle-tested warrior sent with a blueprint they could never understand. Now they live in regret. They live in fear. They live in silence, praying you never remember everything they did when you were too loyal, too kind, too forgiving. And you owe them nothing, not your kindness, not your memory, not your energy. They became the bricks that built your empire, the shadows that sharpened your light, the failed tests that you passed with scars turned into medals. Your power was never about being seen. It was about being undeniable, about becoming so rooted in who you are that the world itself bends around your presence. And now, it does. You are the warning they pass down. You are the legend they whisper about. You are the final boss in a game they were never ready to play. And you earned every inch of that power the hard way, by surviving when you had every excuse to quit, by believing when everything screamed at you to break, by rising when they were sure they had buried you for good. Let this burn into your mind. You are not the villain. You are not the victim. You are the verdict. The universe wrote your name in a language your enemies were never meant to understand, let alone erase. Their downfall isn't your guilt to carry. It's the receipt of their own choices, signed in the blood of their betrayals. And now, with every step you take, you walk with the force of everything that tried and failed to destroy you. You are the living proof that some flames don't die out. They just burn hotter. And every fool who thought otherwise, they're learning that lesson the hard way, one loss at a time. Number 3, what goes around hits harder. You're the lesson they can't escape. When you send out poison, don't cry when you end up drinking it yourself. They thought they could curse you from the shadows. They thought throwing dirt at your name would bury you. But what they didn't know is that the universe doesn't just watch. It responds. And when it moves with surgical precision, delivering every ounce of their hatred back into their own lives, multiplied and weaponized. The backfire was never random. It was guaranteed. Every evil thought they aimed your way ricocheted back with 10 times the force. Every plan they whispered to destroy your reputation only exposed their own dirt. They sat up, plotting your financial downfall. And now, they're the ones drowning in debts they can't pay. They worked overtime to isolate you, to turn others against you. And now, it's them sitting in rooms full of silence, abandoned by the very people they once thought would always back them. And here's the brutal truth. This isn't just karma. This is the system protecting its asset. You are too important to the universe's blueprint for it to let anything slide. The energy they threw didn't just bounce back. It detonated on impact. And not just in their lives, but in the lives of everyone tied to them: friends, family, lovers. Anyone who stood in agreement with their hatred felt the tremors when the collapse came. This wasn't just personal loss, it was full-blown disaster, a ripple that shattered everything they touched. The universe made it loud and clear. You don't touch what's protected. You don't wage war against the chosen and expect to sleep peacefully. And now they sit in the ruins of their own making, trying to piece together what went wrong. They blame everything except themselves. Bad luck, bad timing, jealous people, unfair breaks. They spin every excuse imaginable to avoid facing the raw truth. They set fire to themselves, trying to burn you. It's almost poetic, isn't it? They sharpened knives meant for your back and ended up bleeding from their own hands. They dug traps for you and now live at the bottom of their own pits. They tried to poison your garden and now starve in barren fields they can't escape. And the ripple effect. It keeps growing. Their loved ones suffer because of the hatred they sowed. Their closest allies turn cold because the energy surrounding them became too heavy, too cursed. Even those who had nothing to do with their original plots feel the weight of the consequences now, because proximity to poison is enough to rot anything living. Every relationship they tried to ruin for you has crumbled for them. Every door they tried to slam in your face has shut permanently on their own dreams. Every opportunity they tried to block for you has been stripped from their hands, piece by piece. This isn't coincidence. This is cosmic correction. You are not just a person moving through this life. You are a force, and the universe treats you as such. You have invisible laws surrounding your energy, and those laws are merciless when broken. The backfire effect is not random justice. It's the system balancing itself out in real time, and when the chosen ones are involved, the punishment is swift and devastating. But let's be real for a moment. You doubted it, didn't you? You thought maybe they got away with it. You thought maybe the betrayal went unseen. You thought maybe you were forgotten while they thrived. How foolish, how human. You were never forgotten. You were being avenged. The universe doesn't announce its moves. It doesn't call ahead. It acts cleanly and brutally. And by the time the fallout hits them, you're already rising higher, shining brighter, moving further away from the wreckage they can never escape. This is why people fear your name now. Not because you're cruel, not because you seek revenge, but because they know what happens to those who even think of crossing you. Your reputation isn't built on pettiness, it's built on cosmic law. It's built on a record so brutal, so undeniable, that even fools have started to warn other fools. Don't mess with them. Don't even try. Your energy field is policed by the universe itself. And every time someone tests you, the system responds faster, harsher, leaving behind only wreckage and regret. You don't have to fight your battles in public. You don't have to dirty your hands with petty wars. You simply have to stay aligned and watch. Because when you're chosen, even your silence becomes a weapon. Even your distance becomes a curse for those who lost access to you. Even your absence becomes the ghost that haunts the ones who thought they could play God with your life. They built the tidal wave, and now they're drowning in it. They lit the match, and now they're running from the wildfire. And you are still standing. Still rising, still untouchable, still feared, because you are not ordinary, you are not random, you are protected by the kind of force that doesn't miss and doesn't forgive. And now, the world knows it. Number 4. Ashes to empire. You were built to burn and rise again. They thought the fire would kill you, but you were born from it. They threw you into the flames, and you walked out carrying the sun. They thought they were witnessing your funeral when they watched you fall. They celebrated too early, danced on the ashes they thought were your remains. But what they didn't know, what they could never understand, is that you are not made of flesh alone. You are made of cosmic fire. You don't die in the flames. You become the flames. Your story isn't about survival. It's about domination, about taking the weapons meant to destroy you and forging them into a throne. Ordinary souls would have been cremated by the trials you endured. They would have turned to dust under the pressure you faced. But you turned pressure into diamonds. You turned loss into launch pads. Every tear, every betrayal, every false ending they scripted for you only served as fuel for your next evolution. And that terrifies them. They can't understand how you keep rising. They can't understand how you keep smiling after heartbreak, keep building after collapse, keep breathing after everything around you tries to choke you out. They can't understand because they've never had the universe rebuild them after every attempt to bury them alive. You are the phoenix, not just rising from ashes, but building empires from them. They broke your heart thinking you would never love again, but now you love yourself harder than they ever knew was possible. They stole opportunities thinking you would quit, but now you create doors where they swore there were only walls. They isolated you thinking loneliness would destroy you, but solitude became your sanctuary, your forge, your battlefield where you sharpened your soul. You didn't just survive, you evolved. You became something new every time they tried to kill off the old version of you. And yet, you doubted it at times, didn't you? You thought maybe they finally got you when the world seemed too heavy to lift. You thought maybe they were right about you, that you were weak, broken, cursed. But hear this now. Your doubt was a lie. Your fear was a test. And you passed it every single time you chose to stand when everything around you begged you to fall. You are not broken. You are reforged. You are not defeated. You are redesigned. You are not abandoned. You are recalibrated for higher battles, greater victories. This resilience, this unbreakable spirit, is not common. It's not something you can fake, teach, or steal. It's something woven into your very existence by forces older than memory, deeper than history. It's why every attack they send your way becomes a stepping stone you use to climb higher. It's why every trap they lay for you ends up trapping them instead. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were never meant to fall and stay fallen. You were never meant to live a small life, hiding your power, shrinking to fit into their fragile little worlds. You were meant to terrify mediocrity just by breathing. And you do. Every time you rise from something that should have buried you, you make weaker souls question their entire existence. Every time you shine after the storms they sent to darken your life, you make cowards reconsider picking a fight with someone built by fire. You don't owe them explanations. You don't owe them forgiveness. You don't owe them anything but the sound of your wings as you ascend higher than they could ever reach. The universe doesn't waste time rebuilding those who were never meant to carry greatness. It chose you. It invested storms into you. It invested betrayals into you. It invested destruction into you because it knew you would turn all of it into unstoppable power. And now, look at you, not only alive, not only surviving, but thriving, building, becoming. You are not the same soul they tried to destroy. You are the upgraded version, smarter, colder when needed, sharper than ever, armed with wisdom carved straight from the bones of your failures. They wanted you broken. You became bulletproof. They wanted you forgotten. You became unforgettable. You are the phoenix they cannot explain, the living paradox that haunts their every failure. You should have been a story that ended. Instead, you are the legend still being written, page after brutal, beautiful page. And every time they gather to plot your next downfall, the only thing they truly create is another chance for you to rise again. Number 5. Bloodline warriors. You're protected by forces they'll never see coming. They thought you were standing alone, but they forgot you carry armies in your blood and storms in your soul. They looked at you and thought you were just one person. They thought you could be outnumbered. They thought you could be cornered, broken, overwhelmed. Fools. They forgot, or maybe they never knew, that your roots run deeper than any attack they could ever plan. You move through this world not just with your own strength, but with the power of every ancestor who refused to let the story end before it reached you. You are a living testimony of survival, of resilience woven through centuries of blood, sweat, sacrifice, and sacred power. Your ancestors didn't endure all they did for you to crumble under the weight of cowards and snakes. Every time they try to plot against you, they're not just fighting you, they're fighting the entire lineage standing guard around your soul. And trust me, your ancestors don't play about you. They intervene in ways your enemies can't even see coming. A meeting cancelled last minute that would have set you up. A conversation you just happened to overhear that exposed a hidden plot. A gut feeling that screamed at you to walk away from something that looked perfect on the surface. None of that was random. It was precision warfare, played by warriors who move through time, space, and spirit, just to make sure your path stays clear. They operate in the shadows, shifting reality itself to dismantle threats before they even touch you. They create ripple effects, coincidences that aren't coincidences at all. They twist circumstances until the truth can't stay buried any longer. They expose enemies before the knife reaches your back. You've seen it happen. People who tried to smile in your face and curse you behind your back, suddenly fumbling their own lives. Situations that looked like traps, falling apart before you even step close. All of it is your protection, woven into the very fabric of your journey. And don't you dare for a second think it's accidental. You are not moving through this world blind or alone. You are shielded by forces that answer to no man, no system, no threat. This is what your enemies fail to understand. When they attack you, they aren't just poking at a single human being. They are trespassing onto sacred ground. They are touching what was promised. They are declaring war not just against your body, but against your entire bloodline's legacy. And you better believe the universe counts that kind of violation as a debt that must be paid in full, with interest. You didn't just wake up one day strong. You didn't just stumble into resilience. You were forged by generations of survivors who bled, cried, and fought so that you could stand exactly where you are now. Powerful, undeniable, unstoppable. Every time you leveled up spiritually, your connection to them grew stronger. Every time you refused to give in to fear, their protection wrapped tighter around you. Every time you chose truth over comfort, strength over weakness, destiny over distraction, your bloodline celebrated. Because you are their living proof that nothing they suffered was in vain. You are the dream they fought to keep alive. You are the warrior they knew would one day carry their unfinished battles and win. And now, you move with cosmic and ancestral power braided into your very DNA. Your enemies can feel it, even if they don't understand it. They sense it in the way you walk, the way doors open for you, the way plans against you unravel without you even having to raise your voice. You are chaos to the wicked. You are judgment to the deceivers. You are a warning to every hand that ever thought to harm you. When you think you're alone, remember, you're never alone. When you feel unseen, remember, entire realms watch over you. When you feel weak, remember, the blood of warriors, kings, queens, shamans, rebels, and protectors surges through your veins. They didn't just give you a name, they gave you armor. They gave you authority. And now, every attack launched against you doesn't just fail. It backfires with consequences no mortal hand can undo. Because you aren't walking this world as a single body. You are a dynasty on legs, a cosmic storm wrapped in flesh. A bloodline's vengeance disguised as one human soul. And they are learning, painfully, brutally, that your protection is not of this world. Number 6. Built different, born royal. The universe didn't bet on the wrong one. They thought they could play you like a pawn, but the blood in your veins marked you as the board, the player, and the game itself. You aren't just another soul passing through Earth like a leaf on the wind. You are cosmic property, sacred territory. You were cut from a cloth that most souls will never even lay eyes on. Your DNA isn't just human. It's laced with royal codes, cosmic blueprints, ancestral permissions signed long before you took your first breath. You are the embodiment of an ancient investment. The universe poured resources into you, wisdom, strength, intuition, ferocity, not for you to survive, but for you to dominate. You carry a signature that speaks to every realm you touch. A vibration so sharp, so undeniable, that even those who hate you can't ignore the weight you bring when you step into a room. Your enemies? They weren't just picking a fight with you. They were spitting in the face of a system that moves stars and reshapes worlds. They thought they could stop you with whispers, sabotage, petty traps. How small their minds must be. How shallow their understanding. You aren't here on accident. You are prophecy wrapped in flesh. You are the living fulfillment of promises written before time wore a name. Every step you take was charted, measured, fortified with the weight of countless cosmic agreements. And here's the brutal, burning truth. When people come against you, they aren't just committing petty offenses, they're triggering spiritual earthquakes. The universe doesn't simply get around to handling those who move against you. It prioritizes it. Because your presence here isn't random, it's contractual. When they touched you with dirty intentions, they broke sacred laws written into the fabric of existence itself, and you already see the evidence. Every attempt to throw you off course snapped back on them with amplified brutality. Every act of disrespect ricocheted through their lives like a wrecking ball, tearing down everything they thought would stand. Their betrayals were investments in their own downfall. Their lies were blueprints for their own destruction. This is why your reputation moves faster than you do. Your name carries stories, not because you begged for attention, but because survival itself clings to those wise enough to respect your energy. You didn't earn this intimidating aura by accident. It was grown in the fire of every battle you didn't ask for, but won anyway. It was sharpened through every betrayal you chose to outlive, instead of let define you. While you were wondering if you were too much, if you should shrink to fit into places built for smaller beings, the universe was expanding your territory. While you doubted whether you were worthy, destiny was carving your name into the iron walls of fate. Your intimidating reputation, that's not just people being afraid of you. It's people recognizing what their spirit feels before their mind can explain it. You are not one of them. You are not their equal. You are not even operating by their rules. You are the storm hidden inside the calm. You are the trap hidden inside the opportunity. You are the crown hidden under the scars. Every phase of your awakening, every brutal chapter of your growth was timed with divine precision. You didn't miss a beat. You didn't lose a step. Even when you thought you were falling behind, the universe was simply setting the pieces for your next conquest. And those pieces are moving faster now. The enemies who thought they ended you are realizing they were just characters in the first act of your story. The betrayal you thought would break you was the ignition switch to your next level. The loneliness you thought would drown you was actually the cocoon where the real transformation happened. You are proof that the universe doesn't gamble. It makes investments. It chooses warriors with blood soaked in legacy and futures too heavy for ordinary shoulders to carry. You were built to intimidate systems. You were built to collapse structures. You were built to make weak minds uncomfortable just by existing. And if anyone still questions whether you are real, whether you are chosen, whether you are destined for something bigger than words can define, let them watch. Because your rise is not coming. Your rise is inevitable. It was written, it was signed, it was sealed, and now it's being delivered, piece by unstoppable piece. You aren't just chosen. You are the proof that chosen ones can't be touched. You are the nightmare of every enemy who thought your silence was surrender and your struggle was defeat. And now you're stepping into everything they were too small to imagine and too weak to survive. Number 7. The quiet storm they never see coming. You speak louder without words. They thought you were soft because you were silent, until the earth shook under your footsteps. They mistake your silence for weakness because they can't imagine the kind of strength that doesn't need a crowd to feel powerful. They misread your patience as hesitation because they've never known what it feels like to move on universal timing, not human impulse. They see your restraint and assume it's fear, when in reality, it's mercy. They don't realize you could have crushed them long ago. They don't realize every move you didn't make was a sword you chose not to swing, yet. And that misunderstanding, it's your greatest weapon. You are a master of invisible war. You reveal nothing except what the moment demands. You don't move to impress. You don't speak to prove. You don't perform for weak eyes. You let your enemies cook themselves slowly in the pot of their own arrogance. While they underestimate you, you evolve. While they laugh at your silence, you sharpen your blades. While they scheme, you ascend. You aren't desperate to be seen, because your energy is undeniable, even when you say nothing. The real ones feel you before you speak. The fake ones fear you before you move. Your energy field isn't just a presence, it's a filter. It divides the real from the fake, the loyal from the opportunistic, the brave from the cowardly, without you lifting a finger. Those with clean hands and open hearts find peace near you. Those with hidden knives and blackened hearts feel exposed, uncomfortable, suffocated just by being near you. It's not because you're trying to intimidate them. It's because your very existence reminds them of everything they are not. You are the quiet storm, the pressure drop before the hurricane, the silent predator moving through a jungle full of noise. And in a world obsessed with loudness, fake outrage, fake confidence, fake loyalty, your restraint is terrifying. They don't know how to fight what they can't see coming. They don't know how to attack what doesn't give them an obvious target. They don't know how to measure a force that refuses to fit into the small cages of their understanding. You are a ghost in the system. A cipher they can't decode. An earthquake brewing under the soil they thought was safe. And you operate with mystical magnetism they can neither resist nor replicate. They find themselves drawn to you without knowing why, pulled into your orbit, rattled by your calm, destroyed by your reflection of their own weakness. Your silent strength makes liars confess without interrogation. It makes traitors stumble without you lifting a hand. It makes cowards sweat under the weight of truths you don't even have to say out loud. And when the time comes, when the universe says move, you strike with the force of everything you've been silently building. No warning, no second chances. Swift, surgical, devastating. Your silence isn't a lack of power. It's the highest form of it. You don't need to scream to be heard. You don't need to rage to be felt. You don't need to rush to win, because you understand what they never will. Power that's real moves quietly, but hits like thunder when the time is right. You were never meant to entertain the noise. You were never meant to lower yourself to the level of those who think the loudest bark wins the fight. You were meant to move different, to be underestimated, to be misunderstood, until it's too late for them to recover. Your reputation, your magnetism, your spiritual gravity isn't something you turn on and off. It is built into your soul. It's the blood in your veins. It's the silence between your words. It's the unseen hand clearing your path before you even realize you were in danger. And for those who still don't get it, who still think your silence means surrender, let them keep thinking. Let them stay blind. Because the moment the storm inside you is fully unleashed, they will know. Not from a warning, not from a conversation, but from the wreckage left behind when you move through without mercy. You were made to win quietly, to conquer silently, to dominate invisibly, until only your rise remains undeniable, and their downfall becomes the only sound echoing in the ruins they built for themselves. Number 8. Marked across worlds, even the unseen bows to your name. Your spirit signed contracts your enemies' minds can't even read. You don't have to speak. You don't have to explain. Before you open your mouth, souls remember you. Some flinch, some freeze, some feel a pull they can't explain, because they knew you before this world ever had your name written in it. Strangers pause, eyes widen, conversations stumble, not because of who you are now, but because of who you've always been. Their spirits remember your authority, And depending on their soul's history with you, they either move closer in awe or back away in fear they can't put into words. It's bigger than human recognition. Animals sense it. Some guard you, some tremble. Plants stretch toward you. Your energy is a magnet, even to life rooted in silence. Elements themselves, wind, fire, water, lean toward your intentions when you move in truth. You carry spiritual authority written across dimensions, and not everyone can handle standing in front of a soul that never forgot its crown. Even the unseen moves for you. Beings beyond sight recognize your frequency and act without question. Help arrives when logic says it shouldn't. Delays collapse when your energy commands alignment. You aren't just living by human laws, you're moving by cosmic decree. And whether they love you or fear you, one truth remains. They all recognize you. Number 9. Forged by fire, everything that tried to break you built your throne. They thought they were hurting you. They were crowning you. Nothing ever truly happened to you. Everything happened for you. Every betrayal sharpened you. Every loss positioned you. Every attack didn't tear you down. It built your legend. What they sent to destroy you only added more weight to your presence, more gravity to your name. You are not a product of bad luck. You are a result of cosmic precision. The universe plays no games when it comes to its chosen architects of change. Your path wasn't some random chaos. It was designed to forge a reputation that carries weight before you even speak. Your name holds power because it was dragged through fire and came out unburned, stronger, sharper, untouchable. Understand this. Your reputation for inspiring caution, for forcing respect out of unwilling mouths, didn't happen because you demanded it. It happened because reality had no choice but to bend around your energy. You are not just a memory in people's minds. You are the shift in their instincts. You are the force that demands evolution without asking for permission. You walk into rooms and expose everything false without saying a word. You became the ultimate paradox, the fantasy of every dreamer, the nightmare of every coward. Your energy now acts as a sovereign decree. Stand with you, and blessings unfold effortlessly. Move against you, and the collapse is immediate, brutal, and irreversible. This isn't arrogance. This is universal law. You are protected by the flow of the universe itself, and that law enforces itself whether you choose to see it or not. Your intimidating reputation isn't just a shield. It's a necessary tool for your mission. It keeps the wrong people away. It filters the weak, the disloyal, the fake, before they can get close enough to do real damage. The ones who recognize themselves in these words know they were never victims. They were always the weapon being forged. And now you walk as proof that nothing happened by mistake. It all happened so you could become unstoppable. And now you see it clearly. None of this was random. Every fall, every attack, every silent battle shaped you into something they can no longer control or contain. You've earned every scar, every ounce of respect, and every terrified whisper behind closed doors. This is your era. Walk like it. If this message hit your soul, like the video, subscribe for more, and drop the number 77 in the comments to claim your unstoppable rise. Share this with another chosen one, because your signal wakes up more giants every single day.